Today I want to talk about one of the most yearned over games in the last decade, after GTA 6 of course, which would be Bully 2. And we're gonna look over some of the confirmed leaked concepts, every little bit of information that we possess at this moment, and see what's the possibility of ever getting this game. Now, if you ever thought about Bully 2 but you never paid attention to any of the things that ever went in the GTA forums or Twitter or something, this video has a lot for you to see. So let me get into it. So I don't want to get into the whole thing about Bully was amazing, that's why it needed another sequel. Everyone knows that it was amazing, so did Rockstar Games. And after they released Scholarship Edition, it was a pretty good success. And just like the things go, they went on to create the sequel. So this was in 2008. Rockstar New England, the whole studio on it. And just for the nerdy info, Rockstar Vancouver was the one that made the original Bully, and they were later merged into Rockstar Toronto in 2012. They weren't there anymore, so Rockstar England was the one that took over. It's also said that the game was in pretty smooth development, so there were never really problems at all. But then you know what happened? Red Dead 1 came along. So they put everyone on Red Dead 1 and pretty much cancelled, or at least paused at that very moment. I'm saying paused at the time because there was a playable demo. That is very true, and there was a playable demo, and in this industry term they call it vertical slice or something, which is a self-contained playable build that demonstrates the core gameplay loop. And they pretty much spent 18 months producing a concept, and it also ran on Rage engine. So it already had about 6 to 8 hours of playable content. We would play again as Jimmy Hopkins, and the game would be direct continuation where we left in Bully 1, around 6 months after though. According to this one interview that Swekta took of the project lead, says that Jimmy looked a little bit older, a little bit taller, same build, same scars. So even though the story was never fully finished, the game would start at Jimmy's stepfather's house in summer at the end of school year. I don't know how the timeline works, if it's supposed to be 6 months later, but okay, so there were also going to be siblings, step siblings and stuff, and we have a concept art showing this kind of Americana summer vacation style house. So that was pretty much the outline of the story, and we never had a proper confirmed answer about where the story would have gone, as it was something that was never resolved internally in the project. But at some point the game would definitely take us back to maybe Bulworth or maybe somewhere else. In general, the tone of the game was going to be how you would feel as a child kind of getting into his proper teen years. Apparently still going to be going for the teen rating, but at the same time really pushing the limits to what can actually be a teen rating game. So we have this leak from 2017 of a few characters, or probably just a concept art, but it gives us kind of a insight on how the style of the game was going to be, and we can say and see that it's still very much similar to what cartoony-esque feel Bully had to it. Now Bully itself is somewhere between that cartoony vibe and a little bit of realism. So there's a postman, and then there's a few other characters, and then there's a really detailed finished this one sketch of this nerd. There is this one tennis guy. I really like the whole illustration style, and it sort of have that modern GTA 5 vibe to it, but at the same time, it has that Bully-esque vibe. So, and we have these other 3 leaks, of course. One we have talked about already, of the backyard, whole vibe of the town, and then this an abandoned house. Very cool, I think. Again,
why did I move here? I guess it was the weather.
The project was revived once again in the early 2010s, but it did not get around much, again because of GTA 5 and RDR2. Then there were some rumors in 2017, and it seemed like the perfect time for Bully 2, as Red Dead 2 was just around the corner, and then there was more noise about Bully 2 being the next title. And after the Game Awards in 2021, Tom Henderson, an industry insider, said that Bully 2 was expected as a surprise reveal first at the Game Awards. Some people were shown some material alluding to a reveal soon. And then after that in 2023, with the GTA 6 leaks, Some debug files were found in GTA 5's source code, and it has some strings relating to Bully 2 and some other cancelled or paused on projects, and it confirmed that Rockstar did secretly work on the project at some point, and it wasn't just all just bullshit. And recently, Dan Houser gave the reason behind lack of a sequel of Bully as bandwidth issues, which he basically said that you can't just do all of your projects you want at the same time. So let's just have a realistic talk about what you should expect and what I expect in general, keeping in mind all the things we have and heard. Well, as rumors, speculations, and hopes go, I think I have some faith that the next game after the release of GTA 6 could be Bully 2. Now, why? I do have some pretty decent arguments. So Tom Henderson doubled down on his intel about Bully being in development on this tweet. It does not mean we can take his word 100%, and he has a pretty decent record of getting things right and wrong, and I wouldn't trust this fully 100%, but I would like to, I think. And adding to that, in Spring Conference, Strauss Zelnick revealed that Take-Two's post-GTA 6 focus would be to develop pre-existing franchises in 2027, which could either be LA Noire or Bully, because I think these are the two franchises that still hold some relevance. And in my opinion, Bully has pretty strong chances, all due to the amount of confirmed things that we already have. And I've also heard this one thing from people about like Bully 2 never coming out, that Rockstar got away with a lot in 2000s and then they won't be able to do the same in this day and age. And I disagree, and I think quite the opposite. And even if they make a game that's offensive, I think they will take the precautions and make the best of it as they can. For example, people are worried about GTA 6 being woke and not as funny as it would be in the 2010s, and you forget that we have a whole game about a gay guy's nightclub, so what's there to worry about? Now, on top of my head, the amount of controversies I can remember from Bully, and I think these are the only ones that exist and happened back then. First one would be the game's title, Bully. Okay, I don't even think that's a problem anymore. Come on, who the fuck's gonna be worried about a game named Bully? Then there was the controversy that it's like a bully simulator and people are gonna turn into bullies, kids are gonna turn into murderers. And we have come quite far from the whole kids are murderers if they play games thing. And then yeah, in 2006, people were worried about that. Yeah, the people were worried about that you can kiss guys in it.
So I guess you really like me, huh?
I mean, okay, if you don't want to kiss a guy in Bully, you can choose not to kiss one. Yeah, so it wasn't like something that was quite out of the ordinary like Manhunt 2 was. I think Manhunt 2 or Manhunt 1 was more controversial regarding the content that they have than Bully was. Bully was just like a tamed GTA simulator kind of thing. It wasn't even like GTA. Come on, we can talk about it some other time. So yeah, there's no way that we're not gonna see the game because it's too controversial at all. It may not happen because of, bandwidth issues, they don't have enough people to work on it, but still we have a pretty decent chance at it, and I think, it might happen, who knows. Now, my father doesn't work at Rockstar, so I cannot tell you what the hell's going on there, but we can all just speculate and think about what's to come next. I think there's the beauty in it, like, as people of a community, you come together and you think about things and you just kind of go schizo, and it's fun. So I think, yeah, that's all I had in my head to talk about, and let me know in the comments what do you think about what I said, and if you agree with me or disagree with me, I don't mind, you can just tell me about it. I'm a listener, I listen pretty good, but I talk too much as well, so I should, stop talking. And so that was the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I wanna put more shit like this, and if you enjoy watching shit like this, I am here. See ya.